Hello, everybody. I'm back again. Friends and subscribers, Colonel of Wisdom here. This is going to be another response to, let me get it right this time, Black Energy News. I apologize for messing up your name like that. Um, as I've said, a lot of times I just do these, on the fly, and I don't have the best vision sometimes, and as I said, like I have like these personal like faux pas sometimes where I'll like mess up somebody's name for a long period of time even though I don't mean to. As I was telling you, I have this favorite manga artist and cartoonist whose name her name is Naoko Takeuchi, but like for years of my life I was putting a G in her name. I was calling her Takaguchi for some reason, and like I just found out like last year that her name didn't have a G in it, and I felt like so stupid, and I kind of feel stupid here. So yeah, I didn't say your name incorrectly on purpose. If I was saying your name incorrectly on purpose to mock you, then you would have then it would have been like disparaging or something, like with I say this with lunacy or something, like with that brain surgeon. But yeah, I didn't do that to your name on purpose. So since that was my bad, I am going to apologize just to get that out of the way. But here's the text comment, and I did respond to this in text comment form, but there's other things to this comment that is too much for me to condense in one in like comments, so I'm going to say it in a video. First, I'm going to read what you said to me. First, I say this with care because I see through you and you're a sweet person. Now, when I say you have issues with your mother, I'm singling out the fact that you seem to resent not knowing your father, like a lot of black women do, and attack other black women who are potentially causing that situation. I say that genuinely I don't have kids. See, I absorb energy, so I see past spoken words, just like you kept saying my name, Black Energy News, wrong on purpose, laughing out loud, and I commented on a backlash page, not yours. Be strong. Okay, for starters, this Black Energy News. Yes, you did comment on Backlash's page, but they were comments pertaining to me or about me. So since they were about me, and since I felt it was inaccurate information, I decided to respond. And that's like the second time you said that about me having issues with my mom. First time I decided to ignore it. Second time I felt compelled to respond to that. But as to why you think my critiquing of black mothers is because I didn't know my dad, and the fact that I didn't know my dad was because my mom chose my dad. um the replies I wrote to you, and I'm going to get deeper into it also, but the replies I wrote to you was, by the way, I do know my father and met him when I was still a kid. He was still MIA in my child rearing. Though my mother chose who my father would be, she was not the cause of him being MIA, nor did she go out of her way to keep me from knowing him. Though that situation doesn't sound ideal, and it isn't, my mother and her family made sure my prepubescent years were happy and fulfilled. I don't see that with many single mothers anymore. Furthermore, Drama Bitches Politics and Lashid For You have openly admitted in videos that they didn't have or currently don't have the best relationships with their mothers. However, both of those users tend to defend black single mothers and or black matriarchy. Experiences shape our views, yes, but those experiences aren't always stemmed from us being done wrong personally. Sometimes observations of other situations are enough. Now, as for the stuff I wanted to get into deeper into your comment that I didn't think would be appropriate to respond in text comment format, your notion that I blame black women for dads not being in their life. Well, although a lot of my videos about this topic are about women having being more disciplined and having more insight into choosing wisely who they want to procreate with, that's really not the main that's really not my main resentment, because as I said, my main resentment is the notion that once a black father isn't in the family, then that child is just doomed. Then that mother is just doomed. That mother doesn't know what she's doing, and she's just screwed. And yes, there are going to be some financial and maybe social setbacks. But that doesn't give a woman an excuse to be an incompetent mother just because she's single. And that's why I use my mother as an example, because she wasn't incompetent and she did treat me as a child and keep me in a child's place. Now see, I'm a 90s kid, okay? And I remember interacting with a lot of 90s kids, and how although the 90s kids had a similar race of as me and a similar socioeconomic background as me, a lot of them weren't instilled with the same values. And when I would investigate the situation more, or when I grew up older to get, a little more insight, I found out it was because of their mother's personality and values, and what their mother had exposed them to was radically different from my mother, even though my mother is also black and had a similar socioeconomic background. So that's the main reason why I say it's all about disciplining your choices. Even if you get bad luck, say your husband or the father of your kid dies or whatever, does that give you an excuse to be a shit mother? No, it doesn't. I think I'm going to have a link in this description box to a Tommy TJ Sotomayor video where he was talking about black women negatively impacting the self-esteems of a lot of their children, in the form of comparing them to their father constantly, and or relaxing their hair against their will. Those were the main examples he used, and these are things I've seen from other families, and they're always things that disgust me, and I always felt a sense of injustice about that, and I kind of wanted to speak on that. But I want you to notice some of the comments in that comments section. A lot of them go back to, well, what about the dad? The dad's not there. Okay, just because the dad isn't there, that doesn't give the mother the right to not be a mother anymore, to not instill encouragement and self-esteem into their children, and to not put their children down viciously and cruelly just because the dad wasn't there. See, that's why that's the main reason. That's another reason why I criticize single mothers. It's not just, oh, the dad's not there, everything's just it's just chaos. There's just nothing. I mean, even though dads are important and they should be in their children's lives, it doesn't mean you can't. It doesn't mean you can't get any that it's just still like take Barack Obama for example. Barack Obama's mother got help from her parents, and they raised him as an extended family. Even though I do believe patriarchy is more ideal, or if not patriarchy, an egalitarian mother-father raising a child is ideal. Things do happen. Divorces occur. Sometimes fathers initiate divorces. Sometimes fathers die. And you got to work around that. And just because you can work around that, that doesn't mean the child should be like forever devoid of the basics. And insulting your children, or by calling them nappy-headed whatever, or comparing them to their dad that you can't stand, or the parent you can't stand, that's failing at the basics in my eyes. Which is and a lot of that, and the reason why you don't hear a lot of this being talked about outside of the internet is because it's considered taboo to ever criticize women for anything, for absolutely anything. So did you criticize a woman for anything? Get a bunch of shaming tactics hurled at you. But yeah, I do thank you for calling me a sweet person. that's probably you're probably going to be the only person who thinks that about me, but thank you, and I am sorry for messing up your name. That actually was unintentional. Black Energy News, got it. I've made that's a memo to myself. I got a personal note of that in my database. Not going to do it again. Apologize. What else? So yeah, if it seems like I'm attacking other black women for the dads not being there, no. I'm attacking incompetent single mothers. Really. Like seriously. I know you might say that you're looking past my words and whatever, but really just try Just try to think logically. Do you really think that if the father isn't there, then that gives the mother the right to just suck now? That's what I'm refuting. If the father's not there for whatever reason, that does not give you the right to suck as a parent. That's what I'm seeing a lot. And my mother didn't take that route. She didn't take that. She didn't have that mentality. Okay, I think this is it for now. So yeah, Black Energy News. Um, that's all I have to say on this topic. As far as audio goes, I might say more in text comments, but as far as audio goes, that's what I got to say on this. And that's it for now. Colonel Wisdom out.